All right, guys, I'm here to remind you how to find the rate of change when you have a table. So, well, that one's kind of, let's see if I can move over. Okay, there we go. All right, so to find the rate of change or the rock or the slope, they're all the same thing. When we first learned this, we talked about delta y over delta x, okay, which is that. So remember the rate of change, rocks are found outside, so you're doing the outside. So how do I get from 3 to 6? Is plus 3, okay? 6 to 9 is plus 3. On the other side, from 1 to 2 is 1. Well, and then 2 to 3 is also 1. Okay, so again, we're going back to this formula up here. Okay, change in y over change in x. So 3 over 1 equals 3. So the rate for that first one is 3. Okay, let's look at the second one. From 2 to 3 is 1. 3 to 4 is 1. That's my y. I go over to the x. 7 to 5, this time it's a negative, so minus 2. 5 to 3 is minus 2. Now, the big thing that people forget is they want to do the big number on top, but it's always y. Okay, y goes on top. So this is 1 over negative 2. And they both equal 1 over negative 2, so that is the slope, or the rate of change. And remember, we always want to attach an x to the rate of change just to get us ready for the next part. So once you find the rate, you'll attach x just so that it helps you moving forward. Okay, let's do this last one. From 2 to 6 is plus 4. 6 to 16 is 10. Well, these are different. Okay, over here we have 2. We have 5. Okay, and the other ones, they weren't different, so we still want to make sure that we know what we're doing. So y is 4, 2 is x. Y is 10, 5 is x. Okay, 4 divided by 2 is 2. 10 divided by 5 is 2. So 2 is my rate of change, and again, I'm going to put an x. Okay, so that's how you find the rate of change. Remember, y is first. Okay, now when you have a graph, it's even easier to find the rate of change. Okay, first thing is if it touches the origin, it's proportional. So like this first guy is proportional, the second one is not, and the third one is proportional. Okay, which we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Right now we're just reviewing rate of change. Okay, when you have a table, you're going to do rise, sorry, not a table, a graph. Rise over run. Okay, so here, I know it touches at 0, 0. I'm not sure where it touches on 1, but on this one, it looks like it touches here. Okay, so rise over run. So now I look here, this was 0 and this was 2, so I know it rise 1. And then a run, this is 0 and it's going over 2 spots. But if I notice, they're counting by 3s, okay? So it's actually going over 3, 6, okay? So my rate of change is 1/6. And then I'm going to put an x after it just because that's what I'm supposed to do, okay? On this one, okay, here's my points. Now notice my graph is going the other way, okay? There's not a rise this time, it's actually falling, okay? So if I notice this is 5, okay? So in between, then this is going to be 2.5. So this is 12.5 to 17.5, which is really 5, but it's going down, so it's a negative 5. And then I'm going over 1, 2, so negative 5 over 2x. Okay. If you didn't want to use that one, you could use a different point. Just make sure you find one that is on the dot. Okay. So like you could do this little bitty one here. You can say, oh, it's going down 2.5 and it's over 1. Okay. Same thing. Because negative 5 over 2 is also equal to negative 2.5. You can leave it as a fraction or a decimal. It doesn't really matter. Okay. All right, last one. I know it touches 0, 0. Here, I see that it touches right there. If you don't like doing a big one, you can do a big, huge one. But I see that it touches. So, again, I look to see what I'm counting by. So, this is 0 and this is 24. So, halfway I know is 12. So, the rise is 12. And then it's running 1. Okay. Again, if you like to do a big triangle, you're going to get the same answer. If you're like, let me do the biggest one possible just so I can make sure I'm right. Okay. So then I rise 72 and I run 6, and I know that 72 divided by 6 is 12. Okay. So it doesn't matter which one you use, just make sure you're actually picking points that are on the line. Like, you can't assume that it's 1/2 because you don't know. It has to be exactly on the line. Okay. So that is how to find the rate of change or the slope. You're going to see both words on a graph. Okay. And then let's really quick answer these questions. Is it proportional? Which we're going to review proportional in a minute, but proportional means it touches the origin. So this one is proportional, this one is not, and this one is proportional, again, because it touches the origin. Okay. This one does not touch the origin. This one touches the origin. So that's how we know it's proportional. All right, now we're going to see what you remember.